Vision test by Rushikesh Hanmant Shinde. General Studies. Question 1. Cholas are inextricably linked with the zenith of Dravidian art and architecture. Comment. Cholas were the powerful rulers of southern India during 9th and 11th century. They are also credited with development of many arts and architecture in region. Chola and Dravidian art. Dravidian art. Sculptures. Bronze sculpture during Chola period reached to their zenith during Chola. Example, Natraj sculpture made using lost wax technique. Dravidian architecture. Chola built temples on grand scale than their predecessor such as Pallav. Example, Brihadeswar Temple Tanjore with its Viman made of granite built by Raja Raja. Introduction of various elements in temple architecture. Elements: closed boundary wall, gopurams, temple tanks, fierce looking dwarpar. These sculptured temples along with palaces such as at Gangai Konda Cholapuram evident that Dravidians art and architecture was at zenith during Chola period. Question 2. Among the major legacies of the Indian freedom movement, civil liberties formed an important one. Analyze. Indian freedom movement was not only a war of independence for India, but it gave many ideals and legacies for today's India. Major legacies of freedom movement: liberties, equalities, gender and caste, secularism, fraternity. Legacy of civil liberties. Civil liberties refer to various freedom given to citizens and humans. Prior to arrival of British, Indian society was deeply differentiated. Civil liberties were fully enjoyed by few and completely denied to few. Individual and institutional efforts. Many individuals, Raja Raman Roy, Vidyasagar, Jyotiba Phule, fought for civil liberties. During freedom movement, Nehru Report 1928 provided for various fundamental rights. Karachi Session of Congress 1929 demand for various fundamental rights, inclusion of all spheres of life, SC, ST, women, etc. in independence movement. Civil liberties become important part of our constitution. Makers of constitution carried the legacy while framing the constitution. Question 3. The Berlin Conference of 1884 and 5 in many ways set the ground for the scramble in Africa. Elucidate. During 1880s and 90s, competition for colonies was on peak among European nations. To avoid the war, European nations convent Berlin Conference 1884. Africa was divided among various colonies. Africa after Berlin Conference: North, Italian, Libya; Northeast, English, Egypt and Sudan; and Central, Belgium and Central Africa; South, English South Africa, Rhodesia; South West, Portuguese West Africa; Western, German Angola; English Ghana; and Northwestern, French Morocco, Tunisia. Scramble in Africa. Berlin Conference divided Africa among European powers, but Africa was not a uniform continent. Diversity in ethnicity, languages, etc. It led to various problems among Africa in future, that is, current issues: genocide in Rwanda, boundary dispute in Morocco and Tunisia, apartheid in South Africa. Hence, the greed of European power for money, material and man led to division of Africa and all of its major problem today. Question 4. What is cloudburst and what are its effects? Why are they more frequent in Himalayan region? Cloudburst refers to climatic phenomena of intense precipitation at single geographical location. Effect of cloudburst: landslides, damage to infrastructure like roads and electricity, floods, flash floods in downflow regions, agricultural damage, inundations of crops, human casualties. Due to its damaging nature, cloudbursts are taken seriously by people and IMD. Most frequent among Himalayas region, height and of Himalayas. These lofty mountains traps the northward movement of monsoon clouds. Intense condensation at Himalayas led to intense precipitation as well. Impact of climate change in Himalayas: rising temperature in Himalayas, melting of glaciers. Low pressure region above Himalayas. 1 to or 2 movement of jet stream. Various rivers and settlements along them in Himalayas makes the impact of cloudburst more damaging. Question 5. Despite its potential, there are several challenges in the implementation of the Ken-Betwa link project. Recently, government has given permission for Ken-Betwa link project under National River Linkage Project. Though it provides various opportunities, there are several challenges with it. Map. Ken-Betwa link, Central India, Bundelkhand to Panna Tiger Reserve. Advantages: irrigation to Bundelkhand, agriculture and other allied activities, reversing desertification of region, avoiding distressed migration of people to cities like Delhi, afforestation of region. Challenges in implementation: environmental challenges. This process passes through Panna Tiger Reserve. Habitat destruction, human-animal conflict. Economical challenges: need higher capital expenditure on it. Social challenges: large-scale displacement of people. Example, tribe of Saharia in Panna Tiger Reserve. Political challenges: state government's interest in region might be against national interest. Way forward: greater emphasis on water harvesting and pipelines instead of canals. Government needs to try all alternatives before accepting river linkages as last resort. Question 6. Identify the issues related to production and supply of coal in India. How can these issues be addressed? भारत में कोयले के उत्पादन और आपूर्ति से संबंधित मुद्दों की पहचान कीजिए. इन मुद्दों का समाधान किस प्रकार किया जा सकता है? Coal is important mineral for India as almost 50% of electricity generation is coal based. Despite this, there are issues in production and supply of coal. Coal in India. Map. Assam, West Bengal, Jharkhand, Odisha, Madhya Pradesh, Chhattisgarh, Maharashtra, Andhra Pradesh. Issues related to production. Geographical distribution. Mostly under natural forest. Environmental concern in it. Displacement of tribal people. Example, Jharia coal mines. Displacement of Ho tribe. Bituminous dominated production. Government policies in exploration are not favorable. Various green certificates. Issues related to supply. Issues 1. Transportation facilities not keeping pace with demand. Only railways, not waterways. Shutting down power plant in region. Way forward: more initiatives like Satyabhama portal, coal-based methane production. Need of strong government policies and technology measures to avoid coal shortage during summers when electricity demands peak. Question 7. Present the geographical distribution of agro-based industries in India and discuss the challenges faced by them. भारत में कृषि आधारित उद्योगों के भौगोलिक वितरण को प्रस्तुत कीजिए और उनके समक्ष आने वाली चुनौतियों की विवेचना कीजिए. India is agricultural nation as majority of its population, around 47%, depends on agriculture as livelihood. Variety of agricultural production, diversity of agro-based industries. Geographical distribution: north wheat, rice in Punjab, Haryana, agricultural equipment. Western India, sugarcane and sugar industries. South, tea, coffee and rubber and spices. Northeast, tea of Assam and Darjeeling. East, jute industry of West Bengal. Southeast, silk. Central East, silk industry of Andhra Pradesh. Geographical distribution of agriculture industries. Challenges faced by them: poor contribution to GDP, lack of adequate infrastructure such as cold houses, processing units, packaging units, lack of skilled manpower, mostly in unorganized sector where workers lack skills on machines. Poor forward and backward linkages led to poor marketing and sale. Climatic impact on production. Various government initiatives: PM Mega Food Park Scheme, Seaweed Park in Tamil Nadu, One District One Product, GI Tag to native products. Agro-based industry has vast potential to give meaningful employment to vast population of India and also doubling the income of farmer. Question 8. The caste system continues to one of the key drivers of poverty and inequalities in India. Discuss. जाति व्यवस्था भारत में निर्धनता और असमानता के प्रमुख चालकों में से एक बनी हुई है. विवेचना कीजिए. Caste system refers to system of social stratification in India where people are differentiated in rigid hierarchies based on pollution and purity. This is one of the oldest social stratification in world. Caste system driver of poverty and inequality. Caste is not only social system but it is also has economic implication. Caste-based occupation system, lack of mobility towards better paying jobs, no higher income, poverty, lack of access to education and health, mostly in rural areas, poor health and education, poor human capital and poverty. Distribution of land in rural areas, mostly concentrated in higher castes, lower caste agricultural laborers, lack of access to politics, access to one of their relatively smaller population. They fail to form effective pressure groups, no political representation for them. All these things have led to preventing inequality in India, poverty and inequality in India. Literacies in caste, SC 71%, ST 69%, general 83%. Forces of urbanization, modernization and modern education are proving to be insufficient in removal of caste system. There need a strong effort from both government and society for inclusive development and equality for all. Question 9. Discuss the issue faced by domestic worker in India. Also suggest measures that can be taken to empower them. भारत में घरेलू कामगारों द्वारा सामना की जाने वाली समस्याओं की विवेचना कीजिए, साथ ही उन्हें सशक्त बनाने हेतु किए जाने सकने वाले उपायों को भी सुझाव दीजिए. Domestic worker refers to people who are employed in houses of other people to perform household chores due to inability of majority of women workers work as household workers. This phenomena is more dominant in urban region. Issues faced by them: unorganized sector, they lack basic right for them, lack of unity, lack of power, poor working condition and salaries. They are paid with minimum salaries, lack of bargaining power, lack of social security cover. Most of the time they are outside the scope of social security scheme. Measure for empowerment: organization of domestic worker, registration, deciding minimum pay, gig platform, can be employed as contractual worker in such platform. Example: urban company, urban skill training and enhancement through self-help groups, NGOs, government institutions. Above measures can be used to ensure social justice for domestic worker by addressing their issues. Question 10. Given the deeply gendered impact of population control measures, examine the need to rethink the current approach of population control measures in India. जनसंख्या नियंत्रण संबंधी उपायों के गहन लैंगिक प्रभाव को देखते हुए भारत में जनसंख्या नियंत्रण उपायों के वर्तमान दृष्टिकोण पर पुनर्विचार करने की आवश्यकता का परीक्षण कीजिए. Indian government put forward a population policy in 1951 and become one of the first countries in world to have it. Other policies often after that: first population policy 1976, second population policy 2000. Gendered impact of these measures: focus on population control, then population empowerment. Measures such as forced sterilization, negative impact on women, female infanticide, higher maternal mortality 113 per lakh in 2018-16. Hence such coercive measures had adverse impact on population. Need to rethink current approach. Various regions to rethink approach to reap limits of democratic dividend, fruits of demographic dividend window till 2055. Lowering total fertility rate through women education, growing elder population, geriatric care, better health, nutrition and employment opportunities bring down the population growth. Way forward: empowerment then coercion, education and reproductive right awareness among women, skill development. Current population policy would determine the future of India's population. Hence it is need to reshape these policies. Question 11. Examine the impact of Sarman terrorism on the Vedic region and its relation with the emergence of Jainism, Buddhism and आजीविका सेक्ट. श्रमण परंपरा के वैदिक धर्म पर प्रभाव और जैन, बौद्ध तथा आजीविक संप्रदायों के उद्भव के साथ इसके संबंध का परीक्षण कीजिए. Sarman tradition refers to the heterogeneous faith system that originated in ancient India. Sarman, working people. Shraman tradition and Vedic religion. Vedic religion was a religious and social system established under Vedas, dominated by Brahmin class. while Shraman as faith system was near to the workers, peasants and other common people. Shraman was devoid of any ila, ila, ilas gods and ritual. Shraman philosophy was present in India before Vedas, as Vedas mentioned. Charak school of philosophy, emergence of Jainism, Buddhism and Ajivika. Shraman as tradition can be considered as precursor to various heterogeneous sects like Jainism, Buddhism and Ajivika sect. Jainism formally originated by Lord Mahavir in 6th century BCE. It was against the supremacy of Veda and rejected the dominance of priestly class. There was focused on nirvana for common people as well. Patronized by Ajatasattu, Chandragupta Maurya, Kharwell of Chedi dynasty. Buddhism by Lord Buddha, given Madhyam Marg for achieving nirvana, resented dominance of priests class and social stratification given by Veda. Ajivika by Makhali Gosal. They are against need of achieving knowledge and nirvana, against gods and world beyond this. Supported by Asoka Bindusara. In this way, Shraman tradition affect Vedic religion and creates the origin of heterogeneous sects like Jainism, Buddhism and Ajivika. Question 12. Shed light on the use of symbol and symbolic languages by Mahatma Gandhi for both integrating masses into national movement and against social evil. महात्मा गांधी द्वारा राष्ट्रीय आंदोलन में जनता को लामबद्ध करने हेतु और सामाजिक बुराइयों के विरुद्ध दोनों के लिए किए गए प्रतीकों और प्रतीकात्मक भाषा के उपयोग पर प्रकाश डालिए. The Indian national movement between 1970 to 47 was dominated by Gandhiji's, and his arrival not only united people of India but also put fight against social evils. Use of symbol and symbolic languages. Use of charkha. Charkha was used to show the self-sufficiency of Indian villages and Swadeshi. Soot khadi became the national textile, being worn by many leaders and women. Rural industrialization, empowerment of people. This his simple attire. After seeing the deplorable condition of countrymen, he decided to wear only dhoti. This created all inclusive image of his. Many downtrodden people joined him in national movement. Use of ashrams. Ashram were traditional educational institutions used by Gandhiji to unite people and for their political education. Women as force multiplier. Many women live in ashram. After his arrival in India, women become active participants in struggle. Example: Sarojini Naidu, Dharsana Satyagraha in 1930. Calling Harijan to Dalit. Instead of calling them Dalit, he used Harijan to indicate them as people of God. Tried to enhance their social status. Judging moral progress by way animals are treated. Treating the most weak and marginalized people with respect. Salt and dirty march. Salt was the most common part of every kitchen. By breaking salt law, he integrated every kitchen and every house in national movement. Hence, through use of symbolic languages, he not only integrate masses into fought against social evils. Question 13. Giving a brief overview of the three Carnatic wars, discuss the factor that led to the success of British against the French in the struggle for control over India. 3 कर्नाटक युद्धों का संक्षिप्त विवरण देते हुए उन कारकों पर चर्चा कीजिए जिसके कारण भारत पर नियंत्रण के लिए संघर्ष में फ्रांसीसियों के विरुद्ध अंग्रेजों को सफलता प्राप्त हुई. Carnatic Wars refers the wars between French and British over control of India. French lost in Carnatic Wars and British become paramount power in India. Carnatic War. French and British colonies and native power. Nawab Hyderabad, Calcutta British, Pondicherry French, Madras British, Nawab of Arcot, Maratha Empire, Mahe French, Surat British. Carnatic War, 3 wars between French and British. Background of war, colonial power meddling in native politics. British and French were supporting native princes in wars against each other. 7-year war in America, 1753 to 60. French lost that war against British. Control over rich strait of India. Most of these wars fought in southern India. Battle of Vandy was end of Third War and also the end French supremacy in India. Factor behind British success. Naval supremacy of British. Effective movement of troops from Bengal to Madras. soldier with discipline and war craft. French soldiers lag in that. Superior arms such as bayonets. Effective leadership of British commander Ayercourt, while French commander like Delali failed to motivate troops. Financial power of British Empire could easily fund the war against French. All these factors led to win of British against French, and they maintained their supremacy over India for next 200 years until independence. Question 14. Provide an account of the issue that led to a crisis in Punjab in 1980s. Also discuss the roadmap to peace that was eventually adopted. 1980 के दशक में पंजाब में संकट उत्पन्न करने वाले मुद्दों का विवरण प्रस्तुत कीजिए. साथ ही शांति व्यवस्था की स्थापना की उस रूपरेखा पर चर्चा की जिससे अंततः अपनाया गया था. पोस्ट ग्रीन रिवोल्यूशन पंजाब बिकम द रिचेस्ट रीजन ऑफ इंडिया. विद दिस द डिमांड फॉर सेसेशनिज्म also arose. Demand for Khalistan, Operation Blue Star to kill militant, Punjab violence, assassination of Indira Gandhi, further violence, roadmap to peace, multiple president rule in Punjab till 1990s, police and emergency action against terrorists. Question 15. Give a brief account of the distribution of installed capacity of solar power in India, highlighting the challenges in proper utilization of solar energy. Mention the steps taken by government to promote it in India. भारत में सौर ऊर्जा की संस्थापित क्षमता के वितरण का संक्षिप्त विवरण दीजिए और ऊर्जा के उचित उपयोग में विद्यमान चुनौतियों को रेखांकित करते हुए भारत में उसे बढ़ावा देने के लिए सरकार द्वारा उठाए गए कदमों का उल्लेख कीजिए. Impact of climate change has forced many countries to switch towards renewable energy sources. So far, energy is most abundant one. Distribution of solar power capacity. States Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra. Geographical areas with highest solar energy potential. Annual solar installation in India. Currently installed capacity. Ministry of Renewable Energy. Challenges in proper utilization, lack of land and issue in acquisition, various delays in acquisition, higher cost, poor integration with conventional grid, remote location and highly distributed nature of solar panel making difficult for integration, poor output in monsoon season, lack of adequate insulation, inadequate maintenance, lack of skilled manpower to maintain these solar plants, import dependence, inadequate domestic production led to dependence on countries like China for solar modules. Steps taken by government. Institutional measures. Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, National Solar Institute R&D, International Solar Alliance Program, Solar Park at Bhadla, Rajasthan, Rewa in Madhya Pradesh, Surya Mitra, training youth to repair solar panels, floating solar panels, rooftop solar panel, green corridor, integrating solar, wind and unconventional energy. By promoting above policies measures, India can achieve its NDC of 40% electricity by non-fossil fuel and become carbon neutral country by 2070. Question 16. Post-drift theories based on ocean floor mapping provided new dimension to study of distribution of ocean and continents. Elaborate. महासागरीय अधस्थल के मानचित्रण पर आधारित उत्तरवर्ती प्रवाह सिद्धांत ने महासागरों और महाद्वीपों के वितरण के अध्ययन को नए आयाम प्रदान किए हैं. सविस्तार वर्णन कीजिए. Alfred Wegener in 1912 provided explanation of movement of continents through continental drift theory. After that theory, many more theories were postulated to explain the dynamic nature of Earth's surface. Post-drift theory. After World War II, many scientists used submarine and radar technology to map and study ocean relief. Based on study the former, they formulate various theories. Morphology of ocean floor. Based on the study and mapping, it was found that ocean floor is most completely flat and featureless. Most morphology. Sea mount, sea goyards, stumps, abyssal plain, mid-ocean ridge. Ocean floor spreading theory by Harry Hess and Deitch. Based on the study of age and distance of rocks from mid-oceanic ridges, this formed equidistant rock was similar age and magnetic property. Way forward. They found these rocks formed at MOR get consumed at trenches. Tectonic plate theory by Mackenzie and Parker. According to them, lithosphere is made up of numerous plates. These plates interact with each other at boundaries. Type of boundary: convergent, divergent, transform. Oceanic and continent plates. Plesiomagnetic theory to explain why bands of equidistant rock from MOR has alternate magnetic properties, region periodic reversal of Earth magnetic field. Hence, these theories provided new dimension to study of the distribution of ocean and continents. They are fundamental in exploration of onshore oil and mineral. Question 17. Explain the phenomena of heat wave. Also enumerate the conditions favorable for the development of heat waves in India and their associated health impact. हीट वेव्स की परिघटना की व्याख्या कीजिए. साथ ही भारत में हीट वेव के विकास के लिए अनुकूल परिस्थितियों और उनसे संबंध स्वास्थ्य प्रभावों को सूचीबद्ध कीजिए. Summer of 2022 in India saw unusual occurrence of heat wave which indicates increased temperature of region for a couple of days than surrounding region. Impact of climate change and global warming are aggravating this phenomena. Region: higher solar insolation absorbed by building emitted in night, deforestation, lesser absorption, anthropogenic heat, lack of water bodies. Heat waves in India. Seasonal heat waves such as Loo are common phenomena in North India, but their occurrence, temperature and duration are increasing. More regions are experiencing sustained heat for days. Region with high intensity heat wave. Region with heat waves. Distribution of heat wave. Condition favorable. Global warming. Average increase in temperature of Earth atmosphere. Unusual climatic phenomena. Extra seasonal rain. Moisture content of air. Higher anthropogenic heat, radiation, vehicles, air conditioner, pollution, presence of aerosols capturing heat in atmosphere, deforestation, adverse land use pattern, lower absorption of heat by tree cover and water bodies, associated heat impact, intense dehydration, fatality, heat stroke. Both men and animal use are susceptible. Heat and pollution, respiration problems. Hence, due to its nature and impacts, heat wave need to address properly by all relevant stakeholders. Question 18. Providing an account of distribution of rainforest across the world, mention their key characteristics. Also highlight the threats that are being faced by tropical rainforest. विश्व भर में वर्षा वनों के वितरण का वितरण प्रस्तुत करते हुए उनकी प्रमुख विशेषताओं का उल्लेख कीजिए. साथ ही उष्णकटिबंधीय वर्षा वनों द्वारा सामना किए जा रहे खतरों को भी रेखांकित कीजिए. Rainforests are tropical forests present in tropical region of world. They are accounted for largest area under forest on earth. Distribution: Amazon of Brazil, Colombia and Venezuela, Congo, Ghana, West Coast Guyana, Malaysia, Indonesia, Indian Ocean. Key characteristics: they are home to biodiversity, flora as well fauna, many native and endangered species, home to indigenous culture, tribes of Amazon, Africa, lungs of world, a contribution in production of atmospheric O2, sequestration of carbon. The terrestrial ecosystem capture large amount of carbon in their food cycle, lowering global warming. Sources of many rivers: Amazon, Congo River. Various energy sources: food, fuel, mineral, coal in Africa and Brazil, bauxite. Threat faced by them: intense deforestation, government policies to raise industries and make agricultural land. Brazil, wildfire, Amazon wildfire 2018, damaging 12% area plus pollution. Exploitation of genetic resources. Trees and animals are smuggled around world for opium and heroin production in Colombia and Venezuela. Tropical rainforests are important for human survival on earth, hence we need to consume them. Various international efforts such as Tropical Forest Alliance need to be supported by all countries. Question 19. Indian cities are not only mimicking the social and cultural structure of inequality and exclusion found in rural areas but also creating fault lines for future conflict. Discuss. भारतीय शहर न केवल ग्रामीण क्षेत्रों में पाई जाने वाली असमानता और बहिष्करण की सामाजिक और सांस्कृतिक संरचनाओं की नकल कर रहे हैं, बल्कि भविष्य के संघर्षों के लिए दोषपूर्ण स्थिति का भी निर्माण कर रहे हैं. विवेचना कीजिए. Urbanization has been dominant phenomena in past few decades. According to UN Population Prospect Report, by 2030, urban population in India would reach 600 million. By 2027, Delhi would be the most populous city in world. Inequality and exclusion in cities. Urbanization in India is more dense prone to distress migration from rural areas than and industrialization. These immigrants live in periphery of city in very uh, and deplorable condition. Urban poor rich divide. Urban poor rich divide. Poor lack capacity to live decent lifestyle, adequate living space, employment, sanitation, and water. Similar as rural areas. Disparity in education and health. Lack of equitable access to health and quality education. Lack of inclusion in social welfare scheme. Lack of proper document. Do not form political group. Remain insignificant in politics, insecure work condition, men in construction work and in industry, women as domestic helper. The inequality and exclusion has led to social and cultural stratification uh, same as rural areas, creating fault lines for future conflicts. Urban crime, unemployed people attract to crime world, relative deprivation, feeling of alienation, violence, and protest. Poultry policies get strengthened due to son of soil ideologies. Poor immigrants at the receiving end of violence and discrimination. As world continues to destabilize, sustainable development of world is dependent upon how policies works. Government need to strengthen programs like PM Awas Yojana, Amrut and smart cities to provide basic amenities and decent living condition. Question 20 and last. Examine the multi-dimensional impact of globalization on tribal development in India. भारत में जनजातीय विकास पर वैश्वीकरण के बहुआयामी प्रभाव का परीक्षण कीजिए. ग्लोबलाइजेशन refers to increasing interconnectedness, integration and interdependence of world economies and societies. Globalization has penetrated into almost every aspect of society, including tribal society. Impact on tribal development. Tribal people from around 8.6% of Indian population. They are known for their highly unique culture and nature dependence. Positive impact on development. Industries in tribal areas providing employment to tribal people. Education and health in tribal region. Introduction of formal money market in tribal areas. Tribal society getting aware about value and use of money. Introduction of welfare organization. NGOs like survival intermediate, keeping eye on tribal rights. Demand for tribe products and art. Streams were forest products, minor timber products, forest products like honey, mahua, etc. are highly demanded. Role of tribal heart. Despite this scheme theme, there are many negative impact on the tribal and their development which outweigh positive impact. Negative impact: loss of livelihood and cultural, missing mining and industrialization, Jharia mines, Mayurbhanj region, pollution and associated health issues, economic exploitation by private moneylender, industrialness, forest migration to cities, lack of proper education and skill, they get employed in low-paying, dangerous jobs, exploitation of tribal knowledge, MNCs getting richer. Though globalization has brought many transformational changes, tribal society is not a gainful receiver, need to protect and preserve their interest. Rushikesh Hanmant Shinde. That's complete. Vision IS 11 July 2022. Thank you.